Now that we have talked about the 6 steps of analyzing a photo, let's do a guided practice. This is a picture that I found, and it speaks to me on many levels, and it may speak to you on different levels. But the caption reads, Terry Garola reunites with her daughter after serving 7 months in Iraq. The first step is to look deeply at the picture for a good long time. Observe shapes, colors, textures, the position of people and or objects, etc. Now you can probably come up with other things, but the first thing that I notice is that the mother is wearing military clothes. She's got her camouflage clothes on. She's got a backpack, probably with a lot of her clothes in it. Don't really know. It looks like, of course, we already know it's a daughter. Could be summertime because the child is wearing shorts. In the background, I see pink and all of these different things. That's probably an airport gift shop, I would think. And I see the linoleum floor and I see the stripe there, I guess to keep people on one side or the other. I don't even know if they pay attention to that. Um, so I notice that the woman also has her hair pulled back, which is very practical. If you're in the military, you don't want your hair flying in your face. She is sporting a wedding ring, it looks like. Uh, so I would say that. Uh, Another thing I notice is in the background right here, probably a business person. That's most likely a briefcase. Person may be reaching into his pocket. So these are the things that I noticed. And this person is walking past them. So maybe they are on this side of the stripe and you're supposed to stay on that side of the stripe. Anyway, but that's what I noticed. Probably this is a man, I would think. And just wherever that person's going, I have no idea. Okay, so that's what I see there. Okay, let's go down. Now, I'm going to ask you to come up with some observations, and we'll talk about that in class, and then I'll put that down there. Write down what you see without making any interpretation about what the picture is trying to say. Okay, so um, it's a mother who hasn't seen her daughter in 7 months. She's overwhelmed. She's crying happy tears. And someone's walking right past them and not just doesn't probably even notice what's going on. What questions do you need to have answered about this picture before you can begin to interpret it? Ask as many questions as you have. Well, one of the things that I was wondering is, and I believe this was made in 2005, she was in Iraq. Do you notice how this is a moment, it's what we used to call a Kodak moment, where you want to capture something for all time and have that picture for all time to look at. This is a Kodak moment, but it's a Kodak moment for that family, for the mother and for the daughter. The rest of the world goes on. Notice the person, and it's just not good, it's not bad, it's just the way it is. People keep on going, the world keeps turning. Uh, in fact, for all we know, the person in the suit might have been irritated. that she was in the way. Maybe he had to go on the other side of the stripe because she was on the wrong side. I don't know. But I would also be curious as to whether she has any other children and where her husband is. We would imagine that the husband brought the daughter to the airport, but that would kind of be nice. Is this an only child? Is this part of several children? Um, Another question I'd like to know is she going back? Is this just a brief stay and then she's going to have to turn around and go back like so many parents do? And that's what I'm having to wonder, or that's what I'm wondering about. So we're going to discuss these out loud with one another. This is actually for people who didn't come to class today. So, but they were supposed to discuss with two other students these things that I just talked about. Okay, now we get more into what the photographer is trying to say with this picture, with this Kodak moment. Given the historical context and subject of the piece, what do you think the artist is trying to say? In other words, what does the piece mean? And who do they think is the intended audience? Well, I'm a parent. Several of us in this class are parents. And I don't think a parent has to explain this, but whenever you're reunited with your child, maybe you went somewhere over the weekend, or you were gone on business for a week, or maybe your child got lost at Six Flags or at a store like my daughter did, and your heart just drops to your feet. Um, this is everything to this woman. I think another thing is that it shows sacrifice. This mother is trying to keep this country safe and do her part, no matter what the sacrifice is. And when I talk about sacrifice, I'm talking about a little child or children who need their mother. They need their father and they need their mother. So everyone is making sacrifices there. But for right there, that moment in time, those two were in heaven. So happy to see each other again. I think what it means is that the sacrifices that people make to make this country free, to make us a democracy, is not just for themselves. It's not a selfish thing, it's to help others, including their children. Okay, so I just talked about interpreting that. And I need to be prepared to support my view, but talking about the non-human things, the fact that it's at an airport, the fact that it's right there in the middle of the linoleum floor when the world just keeps passing on by, that, and the mother is still in her military uniform. I mean, how might this have been different if she were wearing a business suit like that man in the background? Would it be a different interpretation? What if she had on a dark blue suit and heels? Of course, you can't see her shoes. Would this have a different meaning? So, what you would do is you would write a thesis. So, you would say what it means, come up with three supporting points. So, this is what I came up with. And you know what? It's a work, it's a whip, it's a work in progress. But nevertheless, people should appreciate the sacrifices that some make to keep the United States a thriving democracy. This mother has sacrificed time with her child that she will never recover. The child has faced the challenges of childhood without a mother, and both face the real possibility that this mom will never return home. So once you come up with your thesis, you'll notice that my thesis is this. Okay. And part of it is this. She sacrificed. Okay. These are my supporting points. This is the first one. This is the second one that's from the child's perspective. And this is the third that always hanging over your head. You want to be positive about it, but one day mom may not come home when she leaves. And military families have to think about that and what that's going to mean and how life will be different. Okay, that's the end of that. Now we're ready to go on to your pictures. And let me see, I may go ahead and put that up here. Here are the photo choices. These are the ones that you will choose from. Okay. Here is photograph number 1, photograph number 2, photograph number 3, photograph number 4, and photograph number 5. So you'll choose one of those. Now, I did want to also show you, because your essay on the John Bonet suspect is due. So this actually is in here. Here's the rubric. And here is where you turn in that essay. This is the first video. And then by the time you see this, what I'm recording right now is going to be the second one. It's going to be called Guided Practice. Be sure that you're taking a picture of the notes that you write on the analyzing photos, upload them there. And also, I would like for you to do the in-text citation practice. It's due on Sunday. All of this is due on Sunday. And since I'm already in here, let me just kind of give you an idea of what you got going on here. Okay, so you'll do the in-text citation practice. I'll let you just do that for homework because we'll go on to the analyzing photo. Inquisitive, which I should put a Z there and I didn't. That's due. It's omitted commas. Let me go back here. Final copy of the John Bonet Ramsey with your works cited, everything polished up, and the first draft of your photo essay. Okay. And that is it. Thank you for your time.